All right, it's 102.7 Kiss FM. Let's get it. This is what time it is. Ryan's Roses. If you've been waiting for it this morning, the wait is over. I got to bring in Roxanna from Southgate. So Roxanna says that her husband started a business with a good friend of his, and it's not gone well. It's really not been successful. So they get into a fight, a disagreement. I guess it happened at her house. And on his way out, the friend looked at Roxanna and said, Angela. Like, here's a clue.
Okay.
And, like, you need to know about Angela.
Whoa.
Throwing her husband under the bus because they were arguing. Then the friend leaves. Of course, Roxanna can't stop thinking about why'd he look at me and go, Angela. Like, check out Angela.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be worried about Angela. Roxanna, am I making this up? I mean, that's basically what you're thinking, right?
Yeah. Yep, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, my husband and his friend started a power washing landscaping business. It hasn't been as successful as they'd hoped it would be. And the friend, his name's Lewis, he actually thinks that my husband is stealing from the business. So Lewis came over, confronted him. They got into a huge fight. Lewis said he wants out, and he, stormed out the front door. You know, I was trying to play peacemaker, so I chased Lewis out. I was trying to get him to come back inside. But as he was getting in his car, he just looked me dead in the eye and said, Angela. And I was like, what? And he said, Angela, and kind of raised his eyebrows, and then he drove off. And I just...
Do you have any idea who Angela is?
No. I have never heard this name before in our circle, and I just... Okay. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. I just, the implication that I got is that my husband is having an affair with a woman named Angela, because I've never met an Angela. I don't know an Angela. I don't know.
Okay. Well, Roxanna, this is why we are here to do this. This is exactly what we do. So, do you, this is me thinking, do you think your husband's stealing from the company? I mean, I'm just thinking about his character here.
I mean, I don't know. I do know this. When we first started dating, he told me that he'd been arrested before, but it was some kind of misunderstanding. And I believed him when he told me that, but now I'm kind of
that didn't raise any red flags for you?
No, I really believed him at first, but you know, with all this coming up now, I'm kind of questioning whether he was lying about that in the beginning too.
We got everything we need. Hang tight. Let's get everything lined up in a row. We're in the middle of Ryan's Roses. This is Kiss FM. Now, we're calling Roxanna's husband. So there's a lot to think about. If you just got here, let me give you some quick context so you know where we are on this call. We're trying to help her out. She thinks her husband may be cheating on her with a woman named Angela. How does she know that? Well, her husband is a business partner. Things aren't going well. Business partner comes over to the house. They get into an argument. And her husband's business partner accuses her husband of stealing money from the new business. He was also arrested at one point, she told us, before they got married. And that didn't raise a red flag. She went on. Now, on the way out of this argument, this dispute between the two business partners, one of which is her husband, after he's been accused of stealing from the company by, his name is Lewis, the friend. They're friends and business partners. Lewis walks by Roxanna and says, Angela. Like, go find out more about Angela. As if he's cheating with somebody and it's Angela.
Right.
So we know more than we know many times going into this. And none of it sounds good. So Roxanna and Southgate, we're going to call him right now and see what we can find out. Let's see if he sends roses to you or Angela or anybody else. Just say, Ryan, you have my permission to call. And then his name. Go ahead.
Ryan, you have my permission to call.
We're doing it right now. Be very quiet. Let me see what we can find out. This is what Ryan's Roses is really built for. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, is this Daniel?
Hello.
Hi, Daniel. My name is Olivia. I'm calling from Southgate Blooms. How are you doing this morning? Fine. How can I help you?
Well, we're a floral design company, and we're offering a promotion. It's a free dozen red roses that you can send to anybody you'd like today. They're free.
I'm good,
I don't need cash. I don't need anything from you. You could just start with the name of the person you want to send them to and a note. They're free. I don't need any info from you, no credit card info or anything like that.
No credit card info.
None. Is there anybody you want to send flowers to? We can start with the name. Like I said, they're free.
Okay. Angela.
Great. Send them to Angela. And what would you like to put on the card?
Tell her I have a special surprise for you tomorrow.
Can you repeat that again?
Tell her I have a special surprise for you tomorrow.
Okay. I have a special surprise for you tomorrow.
Daniel.
Yes?
Your voice is being broadcast on the radio. I have your wife, Roxanna, on the line. It's the appropriate time to tell her why you sent red roses to Angela and what are you talking about in reference to a special surprise for Angela tomorrow.
Okay, I'm on the radio. Right. Yeah,
yes, and Roxanna is on the line. She just listened to the whole call, so you can't deny it. What's going on with you and Angela?
There's nothing to deny.
Great. Well, then tell us.
Deny. She's
then tell your wife.
She's a client. I'm sending her a coupon.
No, you're sending her red roses.
It's not a coupon, bro. It's red roses, and nobody talks like that to a client. You just were like, send her a special surprise.
Yeah,
like that.
So
that's
suggestive.
Not what I would think is a client.
Okay. All right. You guys can believe whatever you'd like. It's been a client for a year.
But what's fine? So maybe she's a client. There's a front. All right. So she's a client. What else is she?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What are you up to?
What am I up to? What do you think I'm up to?
Are you sleeping with Angela?
I'm not sleeping with Angela. I can't have somewhat of a relationship with a client that I've had for a long time. Like we can't be friendly.
It's very fishy,
make jokes.
Daniel. It's really fishy.
Somewhat of a relationship? What does that even mean? Lewis said that you're having an affair with Angela. He says you met her by landscaping. You visit her all the time.
Lewis and I, he's trying to destroy our marriage. Like he's using any weapon that he can possibly use. Why?
He's trying to
no other
destroy our
reason he
marriage.
would say that.
Why didn't you send me a dozen roses then?
You don't even like flowers.
What?
Daniel, did you steal money from the company that you and Lewis have?
Wow.
Bro, I'm just asking the question because your wife told me don't wow.
Are you and Lewis?
No, I don't know Lewis.
Together?
I've never met Lewis before. I'm just asking the question because your wife said that he comes over and accuses you of stealing money from the company.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I ask?
Lewis is a lunatic.
But
Lewis
did you do it? Why does he think you stole?
You guys already have your mind made up. You guys clearly already have your mind made up.
We don't have our mind made up. We're asking questions. It's curiosity and enthusiasm for the right answer. That's all it is. It's that equation. Curiosity and enthusiasm for the truth. And Daniel, why does he think you're stealing money?
And why are you getting so defensive?
Wow, so eloquently said. You guys have your mind made up.
Well, convince us otherwise.
You are such a... Who is Angela? Just tell us the truth.
I just told you she's a client.
And what else?
A client. What else?
She's nothing else.
All right.
Nothing else.
So, Roxanna, we got to go.
We're friendly.
We got to go.
Friendly. There it is. You're getting
She's been a client of mine for over a year. And we're friendly.
Yeah,
after that much time.
She's top of mind. You want to send red roses to her. And occasionally you probably sleep with her.
Well, that's not me, by the way, Daniel. That was Sissany. So don't yell at me.
I know, but you're very wound up, too.
That's Tanya. She's there. All right, Daniel, Roxanna, we have to go.
He's not denying it. Look, he didn't say anything after I said that.
He's not denying it because he might be stealing. I don't know. He didn't like the question.
I didn't mention the stealing thing. I just said you're probably occasionally sleeping with her, and he did not say anything after that.
He didn't, but he also said you guys have all made your minds up already.
Why are you yelling
I know,
at
you
us?
I'm not yelling.
You are
This isn't
so
yelling.
wound up.
Because he came at me.
I've never seen you this wound up
He
before.
came at me. Ryan's roses this morning. What's that?
Are you good? Are you good? Actually, I should ask you if you're okay.
I'm great.
No, you're not.
I'm great.
You're
How
low.
am I not great? I'm
You are
fine.
wound up like a yo-yo, and you
I'm
just
wound up.
rolled.
I'm wound up because I was trying to ask the guy all the right questions to get to the bottom line, the answer. I think there are a lot of red flags. I think who knows? His business partner thinks he's stealing from the company, and his wife thinks he's cheating on him. So I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it in 3 minutes because we have 3 minutes to get there. It's not like I've got 2 hours in a podcast, so I got to push. And I was trying to push. And we
Still
don't.
so wound up.
I know.
No.
Again, we haven't said anything right now. This is all you.
This is all you.
I mean, I could have used a little support and help, but no.
No, I couldn't get a word in
Nobody asked any
edgewise.
questions.
Are you kidding me? I asked the question. I basically told him he's sleeping with the other girl, and he didn't deny it.
Well, you can't tell him he's sleeping with the other girl. Well, you got to ask
The
him.
point of Ryan's roses.
Well, you got to ask him.
No, remember
trying
we
to
can't
catch him.
judge. No judgment.
No judgment. I wasn't judging. I was trying to get to
doing
the bottom.
that tactic where you tell them
the interrogation tactics I watched
Yes.
on 2020.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And so he didn't deny it.
By the way, Tanya, it's called curiosity with enthusiasm. That's what.
Yes, I heard you when you said it to him the first time.
He didn't like it.
He did not like it, no.
Well, it's Ryan's roses. Let's come back and talk about it. Let me get to Ryan's roses. So Roxanna writes and says, "Hey, I think my husband Daniel is cheating with a woman named Angela because his business partner came over. They're friends. They got into a fight because his business partner thinks that my husband's stealing money from the new company. Into an argument, a fight. And on the way out, the business partner, the friend, says, Angela. Like, go check out Angela because he's messing around with Angela. Well, so what do? We do Ryan's roses. And we get Daniel on the phone, and he sends the flowers to Angela. And he says on the card, Angela. And he talks like this. I have a special surprise for you.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
That's such a good
He
impersonation.
didn't
That's what he
even
said.
write it in a note, too. He was like, tell her I have a special
Yeah,
surprise
why don't
for
you
her.
just send her the message?
Yeah.
Tell her. I was like, I'm writing this
But
down.
he did it in that voice.
Yes.
And then he said, what? Angela's a client. Now, come on.
Lies.
When was the last time you called Home Depot and said, this is how doers get more done? I mean, you don't.
Or send them red roses.
Right? Right. That's the thing.
But you hit the nail on the head. You're like, okay, he might be telling the truth. She might be a client, but what else is she?
And I asked him if he was stealing from the company.
That's when he really, woo.
Well, he turned on me. Well, that's fine. What I expect, the guy's going to want to go do a cycling class with me?
Probably not.
Charlene,
Yes.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I think this guy actually has a series of lies. I'm casting total judgment, not knowing the guy, but I think he's a serial liar. And I also
agree.
I also do think, though, that his business partner is motivated to ruin him a little bit. So we need to question the legitimacy of the business partner saying Angela, but I didn't think the guy was forthcoming. I didn't get a genuine, and this is only gut, I didn't get a genuine feeling that he was telling anybody the truth if you heard it. If you didn't, it'll be on our podcast later today. But it's one worth hearing, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So, Charlene, what was your take in Northridge when this was all happening? There you are in Northridge. You're hearing it. What were you
Northridge.
thinking? What would we miss?
I mean, honestly, I completely agree with you. It was like a gut instinct. Like the guy's whole entire vibe was off and like totally gave me the ick, like just the way he was talking and everything. And it just made me feel gross. And like, I actually don't think that Lewis has really an ulterior motive. I totally believe him. I think like if I were Roxanna, I would get in touch with Lewis ASAP. I would go over to his house like immediately and get like all the details because, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I feel like if he's sleeping with one client, he's probably sleeping with all of them.
Wow. I didn't think of that.
Yikes.
All right. Well, Charlene, thank you for listening to it. We get a little tunnel vision on it sometimes because it's emotional, right? I always feel like I'm physically tired after Ryan's Roses. And I am.
Oh, yeah. It gets my heart pumping.
Actually am. And so sometimes, you know, a fresh perspective is appreciated. So, Charlene, thank you is what I'm saying. Have a great day. You have a good week, okay? Take care.
Thank you, guys. You too.
Bye, Charlene.
Bye.
So that's what Ryan's Roses is. If you missed this one, I recommend you find it. It's going to be on our podcast, On Air with Ryan Seacrest, iHeartRadio.